The message glowed on her phone screen. A wrong number? A cruel joke? The words chilled her. She had never received anything like this before, especially not in the dead of night. Her mind raced with possibilities, each more unsettling than the last. Your husband leads a double life. It was 2 a.m. The silence of the night made the message seem even more sinister. She read it again, hoping she had misunderstood, but the words remained the same, glaring back at her. Her husband Mark slept soundly beside her. Or was he? She watched him, his breathing steady and calm, as if he had no secrets. But now, doubt crept into her mind. Could he really be living a double life? The thought was almost too much to bear. She stared at the message, heart pounding. Her mind was a whirlwind of emotions: fear, confusion, anger. She wanted to wake Mark and confront him. But what if it was all a mistake? What if the message was meant for someone else?
Sleep was impossible now. The message had shattered any sense of peace she had. She felt trapped in a nightmare, unable to escape the thoughts swirling in her head. She crept out of bed, careful not to wake Mark. She needed to think, to process what she had just read. The living room seemed like a safe haven, a place where she could gather her thoughts without disturbing him. The message, so stark, so unbelievable, echoed in her mind. She couldn't shake the feeling that her life was about to change forever. The words seemed to taunt her, daring her to uncover the truth. Who would send such a thing, and why? She thought of their friends, their family. Could someone they knew be behind this? Or was it a stranger, someone with a grudge? The questions were endless, and the answers seemed just out of reach. She knew she had to find out the truth, no matter the cost.
Mark, her rock, her best friend. They had met at university, a whirlwind romance that blossomed into a love story for the ages. 10 years, 2 beautiful children, a beautiful home. Their life together was perfect, or so she thought.
Memories flooded her mind. Their first date, awkward and sweet. Their wedding day, filled with laughter and tears of joy. The birth of their children, each one a miracle. Had it all been a lie?
The message gnawed at her. It was absurd, unthinkable. How could it be true? She read it over and over, hoping she had misunderstood, but the words remained the same, each time more piercing than the last. Yet a seed of doubt had been planted. It took root in her mind, growing with each passing moment. She tried to shake it off, but it clung to her thoughts, persistent and unyielding. Mark had been distant lately, preoccupied. His once warm and engaging demeanor had turned cold and detached. She noticed the change, but had brushed it off as work stress. Now she wasn't so sure. He worked late, his phone always on silent. She remembered the nights she waited up for him, the hours ticking by as she sat alone in their empty home. His excuses seemed plausible then, but now they felt hollow. He dismissed it as stress. But now she couldn't ignore the signs. The late nights, the secretive phone calls, the way he avoided her gaze. It all pointed to something more, something she didn't want to believe.
She thought back to the past few weeks, the little things she had overlooked, the moments that seemed insignificant at the time. They all came rushing back, each one adding to her growing sense of unease. A missed call she'd glimpsed on his phone, from a number she didn't recognize. She had asked him about it, and he had brushed it off, saying it was a wrong number. But now, she wasn't so sure. A faint scent of perfume on his shirt, not her own. She had noticed it once, then again. Each time he had an explanation, but they seemed less convincing with each repetition. Trivial things, easily explained away. She had wanted to believe him, to trust him. But the doubts lingered, growing stronger with each passing day. But now, they loomed large, ominous. The doubts had grown into a shadow that hung over her, darkening her thoughts and clouding her judgment. She didn't know what to believe anymore, and the uncertainty was tearing her apart. Driven by a need for answers, she began to investigate. His phone was locked, his laptop password protected. Frustration mounted. Then she remembered his old email address, one he rarely used. Her heart hammered as she typed it in.
I asked him to leave.
And he didn't argue.
The following days were a blur. Packing boxes, fielding calls from concerned friends, explaining the unexplainable to their children. The pain was raw, the sense of loss profound.
My friends and family rallied around me, offering support and solace. Their love and understanding were a lifeline in a sea of despair.
Slowly, she began to pick up the pieces of her shattered life. The life she'd known was gone. In its place, a new reality was taking shape, one filled with uncertainty but also with a newfound strength.
I was a single mother now, facing the challenges of raising my children alone.
The pain of betrayal still lingered, but it no longer consumed her. She was determined to build a new life for herself and her children, a life built on honesty, strength, and self-love. The truth, she realized, had set her free. Free from the lies, the deceit, the facade of a perfect life. The experience, though devastating, had been a crucible, forging within her a resilience she never knew she possessed.
I learned the hard way that trust, once broken, is not easily repaired. But I also learned the importance of self-worth, of knowing my own value, of refusing to settle for anything less than I deserved.
Life, she knew, would go on. It was an unending journey, a path that stretched out before her, filled with unknowns and possibilities. She had faced many challenges, and each one had taught her something valuable. She had learned to be strong, to be resilient, and to keep moving forward, no matter what obstacles lay in her way. There would be good days and bad days, moments of joy tinged with sadness. She understood that life was a tapestry of emotions, each thread contributing to the overall picture. The laughter with friends, the quiet moments of reflection, the times of sorrow and the times of happiness, all of these were part of her story. She embraced them all, knowing that each experience made her who she was. But she would face them all with her head held high, her spirit unbroken. She had a determination that was unshakable, a resolve that was forged in the fires of her past experiences. She knew that no matter what came her way, she had the strength to overcome it. She would walk with confidence, face the wind with determination, and stand tall against any backdrop. Her heart opened to the possibilities that lay ahead. She saw each new day as a chance to start fresh, to write a new chapter in her life. The sunrise symbolized hope, a new beginning. With her journal open, she would pen her thoughts, her dreams, and her aspirations. She smiled with a sense of peace, knowing that the future was hers to shape.
The future is unwritten, a blank canvas upon which I can now paint my own story. A story of resilience, of hope, of dreams that have yet to be realized. Each brushstroke represents a choice, a decision, a step forward. I am the artist of my own life, and I hold the brush. With each new day, I add color and depth to my canvas, creating a masterpiece that is uniquely mine, of a love that had been lost but would in time be found again. Love is a powerful force, one that can heal and transform. Though I have known loss, I have also known the beauty of love. I believe that love will find its way back to me in a form that is true and enduring. I look to the future with hope, knowing that my heart is open and ready to receive. A love this time that would be true. A love that is built on trust, respect, and mutual understanding. A love that is patient and kind, that grows stronger with each passing day. As I move forward, I carry with me the lessons of the past and the hope for the future. I am ready to embrace the love that awaits me, knowing that it will be a love that is true and lasting.